I didn't even get a chance to say anything. Just 3, 2, 1, go. We're going live. Yep. Screw you. Doesn't matter what you think.
Tweet your complaints.
I'm about to. Because guess what? I'm also going to retweet from PHP Architect.
Let's see.
PHP Architect does not follow PHPUgly.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's funny.
We got called out today for not contributing enough to, well, I'll save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but Steven.
You know what time it is.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
You're listening to episode. I'm still. That's painful.
It's Thursday night at 10 o'clock, and you know what that means? It's time for episode 260 of PHP Ugly.
Whoa. You got to stop sharing your screen because we're hearing ourselves.
Yeah, that's why I stopped talking.
Time to stop sharing your screen. It's PHP Ugly.
All right.
Go ahead.
I got it.
I have the radio voice, but you're in charge.
What the hell? Hostile environment. Shots fired.
I'm getting
it's episode
a little punchy today.
Tom, you do it. You can have it. It's 260. Go ahead.
Today is October 28th, Thursday night, 10 o'clock. That means it's time for PHP Ugly. Listen live on YouTube. Watch us on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all your other sources. I've been drinking early.
I'm pretty sure they can't watch us live on Spotify, but good effort. Are you going to introduce people, Tom? No? Maybe?
With me, as always.
How about introduce yourself first?
I'm Tom Rideout. With me, as always, John Congdon.
This is an interesting opening to the show.
And the man himself, Eric Van Johnson.
The man himself. I do appreciate that. You are punchy this morning.
I'm a little,
this morning?
Not morning.
Are you sure?
I hope to God.
I guess it's morning somewhere, but this episode got off on a very interesting start.
Tom is on fire.
No, really, you're on fire. There's something burning behind you. No.
Oh, shit. Don't worry, it's just a cat.
That's perfect. All right. Do start it off the show, Tom. You've got to get the conversation going.
We have
That's how it works.
We have special content tonight. So if you're a podcast listener, I highly encourage you check out the YouTube stream. We've got a lot of visual stuff going on, according to Mr. EVJ, and lots.
Where am I today?
Lots.
This
Hey, I'm just saying. I was told to queue up the screen share because we've got stuff to see.
we've got a true professional with us, listening to us on YouTube right now, and he's mocking us. I'm just saying.
Things will
that's
be
what we do.
today.
He
Welcome to the show.
Podcast. He just started a podcast. Episode 4 is tomorrow, and he's already crushing us on the numbers. I'm just saying.
Not surprising.
See where he's at after he's grinding through 260 of them. See how happy he is to podcast then.
Yeah. Once you have to be friends with me, it gets very difficult.
Tim, we'll see you in 5 years when you're up to 260.
That's right. Look us up when you're at 150. We'll talk then.
Yes, I'm starting the show off very punchy, very excited. I've been playing with new stuff that has got me hyped up. I'm writing half the code at twice the speed. But first, I want to hear how your week was, John.
Oh, I like how you go to me first. I don't know. Do you want the non-code funny stories? Like not PHP related at all?
Is it about kids?
It
Yes.
depends. How many support tickets
It
do
is.
you want to address about the fact that we didn't talk about PHP? You tell me, John. Go at it.
Terry, if you're listening, hit us up because I'm going to not talk about PHP. But I'm also not going to talk about baseball. So it's only World Series. Nobody cares anyway.
Hurtful.
I haven't shared the story with anybody yet, and I'm not sure why. Earlier this week, my dog goes to the bathroom outside. My kid cleans up. Very nice of him. It's like, thanks, buddy. You did it. He comes in. Can you come help me tie the bag? Because he's still not capable of spinning it around and making a knot. I'm like, sure. Oh, shit. The dog just ran outside. Oh, no. He goes outside, grabs his bag of poop, comes inside. I see him shake it, and in slow motion, all over our living room.
That is
Nice.
awesome.
That
He's like,
is-
hey, buddy, you forgot this. I made it for you.
And I think that very same day, that night, my kid decides he's going to finally get up out of the bed and go to the bathroom. Except he doesn't get out of his bedroom. He just kind of gets down from his bed and just pees all over his floor.
Hey, we've all been
I'm
there,
the same
buddy.
way. I'm
We've
the same
been
way.
drank for a little bit. Every corner's a toilet at that point.
It's been he had too much to drink. That's kind of like me.
Yeah. No, every Thursday I got to power wash the closet out.
It's been a rough
Oh.
week. That's for sure. Code wise has been fantastic. We've been talking about the tax and billing stuff I've been doing for a while. I finally got to put it through some tests. Well, I have unit tests around it, which is great, but actually doing end-to-end testing and seeing it work is really nice. So Tim, I know you're listening. Thanks for the architecture, making it all work. It's nice when things just seem to work without too much hassle.
We're gonna get into testing because I've been doing some testing this week. It's been interesting.
Hey, and Tim just popped into Discord. How do you get to our Discord channel? I forget.
Oh, geez. What is that? Discord.phpugly.com?
Discord.phpugly.com. A
Whack.
lively community.
I
You sound
love
like
our
you have-
Discord community.
I do too. I can't keep up with it anymore.
It's not that bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I just
And
can't keep up with it.
That's nice. I think that's the great part about having so many people in there. It's not like you have to see every single message. You pop in there as things are happening and you can chat. And if you miss, you miss them. If somebody wants you to see something, they'll message you. They'll at you.
I'm gonna put
this-
this out there.
Do it.
NS Bucky had a question about Laravel's password throttling. And when he got the answer, he put it in the Discord. He put the answer
Don't you
in
love
the
that?
Discord.
Don't you love that?
Come on. What
Yeah.
kind of community does that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Eric, how
people.
was your week?
I had a fun week, man. So first off, after our show last week, Tom introduced us to VSCode.dev, which is a web-based version of VSCode. Looked really appealing, had a lot of promise to it. So I spent the entire week in VSCode. I've gotten everything configured with my Vim bindings again. I did uninstall my NeoVim plugin and went back to the traditional Vim plugin, specifically so that that plugin and those configurations translated over to the web version. So really spent a lot of time not only using VS Code, but getting it configured again. I used to have it pretty well tweaked out, and I'm getting pretty close to there again. I have opinions about VS Code, and I'm definitely happy to discuss those. But then something very exciting happened.
What?
So my good friend who I pair program with every now and then messaged me, and what did you say, Tom?
I got accepted.
You got accepted. Tom messages me, says, "Dude, I've got Copilot."
I straight up said, "Bruh."
I got what?
I got Copilot, GitHub Copilot. He got accepted in the GitHub Copilot early release.
Yeah, it's like the alpha program. They're very clear in the email, like, "Hey."
And they're very particular who they
Yeah.
pick. Like they're only looking for really crappy coders who need a lot of help.
Top men.
Why is it gotta be a guy?
Well, because it's
Tom.
because it's an Indiana Jones reference.
So we're talking about it, and he's telling me all these cool things. I'm like, dude.
I told him, like, "Hey, it's Tuesday. I've been playing playing with this thing, and it's fucking cool."
Mm.
And Eric says,
I'm like, dude,
"Oh, I didn't get accepted."
You've gotta be ready to stream this on Thursday. Tom's like, I'll think about it. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm like, and I'm sitting there when I'm talking to him, I'm like, that's weird. I got an email about Copilot too. I wonder what it said.
Like 3 days ago.
Like last week.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, Tom. I have Copilot too. All of a sudden, Tom's like, you're a dick. I don't like talking to you anymore.
That is not what I said. I believe I said I have to pee and get another beer.
I'll be back. I gotta go to my closet. I gotta pee.
Oh, the cats were mad. They're like,
I don't
"That's
have
ours."
Copilot yet. What the
Yeah,
hell?
well, so I got an email on Friday after our show, and I think after I tweeted, or it might have been before I tweeted, that I was spending the week in VS Code. So I'm not saying anybody at GitHub or Microsoft listens to us. I'm just saying it was pretty coincidental.
Although I can guarantee you that nobody at GitHub listens to us.
So I spent the week not only using VS Code, but using Copilot. My God, it's freaky as hell. I went from, and this is no exaggeration, I went from, oh my God, this is terrifying. We're going to be out of a job here in a couple of years. I can't believe how good this is doing, to 15 minutes later saying, come on, Copilot, you can figure out how to import an Excel file. Why are you making me type all this out?
Yeah. Dude, come on.
It was that quick. And I haven't tried this yet. I haven't tested it. I asked Tom to set up streaming. I want to stream it so you can see, like, it's not even IntelliSense. It's like very specific, not only to the framework you're using, like in my case, Laravel, it understands like your methods and your variables.
I'm gonna one up you on that in a minute.
Go ahead.
So I've been using it all week, and there's a lot of times. Well, so okay, one thing is you have to talk to it, which is code comments and function naming. So
that's when. Don't give too much of that away. Don't give too much of that away, because that's one of the things I want.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want John to kind of talk through, and let's see what code.
See what it does.
Huh.
And I'm enamored with it. It has saved me a lot of time in looking things up. Now it is getting there. It is half smart. So
it's half genius.
It can figure out a lot of things, but it also makes a lot of assumptions. And it's worth note that because this is a machine learning language, it doesn't speak PHP 8 yet.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never even paid attention to that.
So I've experienced this quite a bit, where it speaks PHP 5. I haven't seen it throw a lot of usages of PHP 7 and PHP 8 syntaxes.
I got the null call lesson operator today.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten that. I've had it try to do that. But like I said, you have to talk to it. So if your method is named something, it will start making assumptions based off of that. But
you don't have to talk to it. It will figure, if you're just coding, it will do autocomplete for you. Autocomplete in the sense of entire blocks of code.
Yeah, where PHP Storm and IntelliSense speaks in words, this speaks in paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that the sentences in the paragraph might not be correctly formatted. There might be something wrong. But the fact that it filled out a whole paragraph and all you have to do is fix a sentence in the paragraph for it to work is
annoying,
surprising.
No,
because
it is.
Well, because it takes about 3 seconds to process what you're doing. So in those moments where you're kind of like rolling things around in your head, it fills out the rest of the code. And
now my question is, does it work mainly because you're using framework specific stuff, or is it learning from your code itself?
So it's not good at Laravel. I will say that straight up.
I disagree. I've had nothing but great results from it. Answer your question, John. I was in some legacy code today, and it was figuring out classes and methods that are specific to the code, the legacy code they created. It was figuring that out and making suggestions.
So I was very pleased with this.
I've got more questions.
Hold on.
You guys all you guys are doing is just raving about it. So I'm going to ask questions. So is it sending your code up to their servers for analysis? Like, are you losing control of your code base?
I don't see how it couldn't be, but I don't know for sure.
Tom,
do you have any?
It absolutely has to be.
I mean, but ask yourself, how's that any different than the fact that you store your code base on GitHub?
That's true. Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. The thing that got me today.
I have an answer to him first before you get to there.
Good.
The difference is if they're using my code as a snippet as you start typing, that could be scary.
It's not a snippet.
Okay.
It is like somebody who perfectly understands the API documentation.
Right.
So snippets arise out of that and look similar, but it's not. It's doing something different. It's machine learning, and yes,
It is freaky weird. I mean, I'm not even
well,
exaggerating.
so the
It's
freaky weird part, I was not freaky weirded out by it until today, when I was writing tests for a middleware for the Guzzle PSR7 client. I wrote a test that said, test successfully logs request. And then I made a request and then checked the database for the log existing. And Copilot was not involved in that, or was minimally involved in that. The line gets blurry when you start using these like one sentence autofills that it gives you. But then I wrote a new method that said, test logging succeeds when Guzzle throws exception. And it suggested the exact code that I had just put in for a successful request, but it changed the status code and checked for an exception to be thrown in the request object, and checked that the JSON was representative of the exception message instead of the successful response message. It was 99% complete. I had to go in and tweak it to make it work correctly, but it was 99% complete. And it had copied the code for sending a request and checking the response, but it had modified the code for throwing an exception in the handler of a pre-request object, and it had changed the status code that would throw on a server responding to an exception. It's like it knew these tiny details that I should be looking for way before I knew what I was going to be looking for. And that was when I was weirded out. Whereas like when it took my code and said, hey, you're trying to do the same thing, but check for a failure state, because the name of the method said check for failure state.
Interesting.
To the point where I don't understand the PSR7 Guzzle stuff. It's unnecessarily complicated. You could be interacting with one of 20 nested objects deep, but it knew right where to insert a thrown exception and say, hey, the handler for this is an exception, throw it right here. Like it knows the code way better than I do.
I think the best way to do this is to demonstrate it. We have our Discord channel and discord.phpugly.com. So let's do this. We have a sponsor. Let's get our sponsor ad out of the way.
Do we have a sponsor?
And then let's just
Honey Badger transforms you into a DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and cron monitoring into a single easy-to-use platform. Stop wasting your time tailing logs and deploy with Swagger. Visit honeybadger.io today to level up.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
Thank you, Honey Badger. Appreciate that. All right.
I'm having trouble judging depth. I was hovering over the sponsor button, and then I pushed it.
So let's do this. Let's try to do this. Do it live. I
Do it
haven't
live.
tested this. Haven't done anything. I'm not even on a virtual box. I'm on my actual desktop. So I'm trying not to get any information leakage here. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let me go and share my screen. If you're listening to the audio podcast, I'm not really sure what to tell you besides
Go to
You'll-
YouTube and hit subscribe. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, you might want to go to YouTube. You might want to watch this one. While you're there, hit subscribe. That's youtube.com/PHPUgly. All right.
And this looks like a magic trick.
Yeah.
Like for all intents and purposes, this is 100% live, and it is a bit unnerving.
Discord, you guys be my eyes and ears. If you need larger fonts or anything like that, you just tell me, okay? So we're just gonna do a Laravel new. Okay, so I talked about this last week. This is that syntax that creates the whole branch for you on GitHub and all that other stuff. This is actually cool, but we're not really worried about this. We're just gonna do a Laravel new. Whoops, that was a mistake. And we'll do just PHPUgly. All right, so we'll new up a new Laravel install here, and hopefully this doesn't take a ton of
Nothing
time.
Nothing like live coding.
What can possibly go wrong in this situation? All right, so got a new Laravel app. I already know a PHP Architect t-shirts. Did anybody else see that? I didn't see that. What? All right, so we're going to go into our application here, and since I already
Why are you doing this in your download directory?
because I don't want information leakage, John. User, I don't know what to say.
Maybe you're gonna
Yes.
leak what you've downloaded.
Right. I know I want a controller. All right. So let's see if this works. This should work. Code up. Boom, I'm in Visual Code, and it's asking me to trust something. What could possibly be wrong with this? Yes, I'm going to trust it. Okay. All right. So what did I call that? I called it a user test controller. Okay, let's get this opened up. All right. So if anybody's curious, yes, I have my Vim bindings here, so I can do things like get rid of that. For one
I think you're gonna need to increase your font.
Oh, God, I was afraid.
I
of
mean,
that.
I can't see.
Oh, that's
I mean,
fine.
It's coming through very
works.
blurry on my side, but
All right, I got it. I got you. Okay, so let's see. So let's say
while you're doing this, is this a VS Code only thing? Like, is it only available in VS Code?
Yes.
we'll get to no.
What?
It is currently, but there is actually a NeoVim plugin. NeoVim plugin that was released this week. There's a caveat to that. This is why I'm in VS Code
It's garbage.
doing this. But you have to be on the latest pre-release of NeoVim version 0.6, which I looked everywhere and couldn't
Doesn't exist.
find. Yeah. So let's see. What do we want to what do you want to say here? Let's just say let's
Test
say
if you can
create-
create a user.
right, create method to get all. So even the comment is auto completing, right? So if I hit this, boom, and then I thought that just worked. There we go. Boom.
It added the comment get all users and return a view and pass it in the above variable. It added comments to your code.
So this was one of the things
Well,
I was.
that's a useless comment. Get rid of it.
This is one of the things I was talking about that I noticed it wasn't doing. It's not importing that class. For me.
Yes.
So I was just playing with this recently, and I think it's trouble. Nope, it's not. I have a. Do you know what the shortcut is for it? Or
For VS Code, there's a custom plugin that I use.
I think it's control. There we go, right there. I got it. Control period. Yeah. So I just pull that in. So it doesn't auto pull in your use statements.
I use
Oops. Doesn't matter. We don't need it.
You don't care.
Yeah, not really worried about it. Okay, so let's say loop over users and get their email. Boom. Give it a second. Boom. I mean, these are small examples, but this is a fresh project, right?
Okay, change the comment to collect their email.
All right. So let me kill that. Let's just kill this. So what do you want? You want collect,
Loop over
collect
users and collect their email.
over users and collect their emails. That did nothing.
So this is what I'm saying, is that it's not Laravel sensitive. For a Laravel developer, you would immediately know exactly what that meant. Now, if you write a comment that says pluck user email and ID into array, it will know exactly what you mean.
You don't think
Sounds
this
like
would?
So just
see.
pluck
Pluck
user.
plucking out their first
No.
user. No, let's see what it does. Oh, that
Well,
just does it first. Yeah.
Yeah, it just plucks the first user.
CK.
Pluck
CK.
Pluck.
user email and ID into array.
Oh, it already did it into an array. It does it. There you go.
There. So that's perfect.
That's yeah. I mean,
And this is what I mean when I say that you have to talk to it. It's like an English as a second language student, where you really have to explicitly talk to it. But if it understands what you're saying, if you can be clear enough, it nails it.
yeah,
So
I'll
I want you to try. I want you to try something.
Hold on, I want to try Charlton. Charlton's. I'm pretty sure this won't do anything, but let's see what it does. Build a form. Well, I'm not in a view, but
So one thing it doesn't do is communicate with other objects in your system.
Jax. You sure about that?
It will read from its experience of other systems, but it won't communicate with the existing code in your code base outside of this class.
Michael Dernda, I'm with you on this one.
Okay, if you're going to be a dick about it, John, we're going to stop this right now. We're doing a demo of very simple stuff of a basic fucking application, okay? Trying to get you excited about something. If you don't want to see it,
it's not working. I'm sorry.
All right.
I can give you interesting examples. You have to keep sharing your screen.
No, I'm not sharing my screen, John. John's like, it's not working. It's done, and we're done.
It's not just me.
John
are you
ruined
using
it for
the same
everybody.
way?
So everybody, if you're listening to audio podcasts, you can go back to your audio podcast. So
can you just pull it up for a second again? I just want to. I want to show you how deep it can go.
Just the wording is sounding so weird. Pull it up again. I want to show you how deep it'll go.
Can I mute him? Can I just mute him?
yes, you have my permission to mute him. What do you want?
All right. So what I want you to do is a complicated comment.
What would that be?
I want you to
remember. There's no code, but the base.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I want you to send a list of current users.
Right. Send a
list of current users, except Yahoo users.
Yahoo users? Okay.
Yep. To my endpoint
Okay.
And log the response.
Log the response. Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yep.
I can't possibly do anything here.
Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I get what
That's worked for me.
Send a list of current users. Okay, should have gotten that.
Send an array.
You want me to do it again?
Let's change up the wording. Delete the whole line.
Delete the whole line. All right. This is the last one. Then we're moving on.
Send an array of at yahoo.com users.
It says emails. I'm just going to use emails.
Emails to
glad you had this thought through you.
To request object.
To request object?
One word, request object. Camel case.
Okay.
And log response. Dude,
right.
I'm telling you, this
well, it does.
I quit.
This did create another message to me.
So this is
why you don't live code.
No, this gets into the issue that I have.
Why we don't live code with you, John?
That I
with me.
I did have it. It did
You
create.
got a bunch of people in Discord saying, "I'm not worried about losing my job anymore at all."
I did have it create like theoretical objects. So when I resolved these theoretical objects, it did manage to like connect correctly. So when I told it that I had a request object logger, it created a new class called a request object logger and said like, yeah, here's where we're sending it and here's what we should send it. And when I pointed it to the actual request logger object that I had, it fixed itself. And it's not programming for you. It's not a panacea. But it's also not like code completion the way that we've seen it before. Previously, we've seen code completion say like, hey, there's a semicolon here that you're missing, or like you're referencing a variable that doesn't get called later on in the method. This is the next step above that. And I kind of wish it wasn't as smart as it thinks it is, because it tries to solve problems that it can't solve, but it fills out a lot of code space where like I would have to type this over and over again, or I'd have to repeatedly resolve an issue.
All right, let's move on. John's not interested, and he's whining and shit. So let's move on to something else.
I'm not whining.
Nope. We're moving on.
I'm not whining. I'm laughing.
No. Okay. You're laughing. You keep laughing, buddy.
Don't take it so personally. It's not your fault.
You upset Tom. He has now walked away.
He's going in. That's the closet over there. He had to relieve himself. I don't know. It was hard. Like you said, it was a new code base.
We don't need to talk about it anymore. It's fine. It's fine. You had no interest in it. We thought it was cool. Tom and I have had a great time with it. If people on Discord are interested, you let me know. Maybe I'll do a live stream in the future when I'm working on PHPUgly website or something.
Was this what you were so excited to share with me the other day when you're like, I was talking with Tom and I had something cool to share with you?
Yep.
But I'm saving it for the show.
Such a buzzkill.
Really,
it's not me.
It's not me. It's specifically you, John. It's 100% you. Stop blaming the listeners. You're the one on the show.
Yeah,
I
really.
am
Put the
representing the
fucking
listeners.
brakes on everything.
You are a magazine in a Web 2.0 era.
Hey,
Sorry, was that
easy,
too
buddy.
far? Sorry.
Easy. Just
I'm
pump the
Dealing-
brakes a little bit.
dealing with other
That was-
stuff.
That was
You should have
hostile.
seen. You should have seen this in Slack and Foamer today because I was pimping the magazine.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about.
I
we were talking about management and how hard it is to get things through
John,
management live. Listen, and I was like, change is hard, change is inevitable. Wait, I've heard this somewhere before. Oh yeah, and then I sent a link to PHP Architect. And then Tim and I got into this battle of
not Thanos.
podcast links. What?
I mean, didn't Thanos say the same thing?
Yeah, somebody actually shared a jiffy of Thanos in that conversation too.
Jiffy.
It's pronounced Giphy.
Jiffy. It's Jiffy.
John,
What?
I'm your editor now.
Cool.
Okay. Let's see if we can get this show back on track to some degree here. How
Well,
about that?
we started clearly off track, so I don't know where you intend to go.
Well,
It's
right,
all
because
unpaved
we
from
thought we were going to do some code stuff, but we realize now why we don't do that. So
I'm telling
we're
you,
going to move on.
when I had it produce 20 lines of a test case and just edit,
They don't care.
It was so good. It was so
I
good.
agree with you. I love talking about it. We can
But
share
the thing
this.
I really want to express
Maybe we'll
about this
create a Copilot channel in Discord.
is we don't have
along with
enough.
Livewire. Yeah.
The thing I wanted to express about it is that you have to communicate with it and you have to accept the limitations of it. It's the same as code snippets where it's like it's asking you to fill in some undefined content, but it provides so much more. I've been working with the PSR7 Guzzle client all week, and it has very, very easily saved me 10 hours where I was stuck on something and I said, hey, comment. If we have a pending request instead of a request object, then something. And
See,
it
it's funny
absolutely
you
gave
keep
me
talking
back.
It's funny you keep talking about the comment approach because I didn't do that all week. Like I would have.
I did it when I was stumped.
That's okay, but I want to stress like you don't. That's not how you code.
Sure.
You code. You
No,
can code
but-
normal.
But
And
that's
it
how
will-
you
it-
Google
it-
things.
I know, Tom, but you keep referring to the comments like that's the only way this works, and I'm trying to explain it's not.
Yes.
If you code normal and you just start coding, it will figure out not only the auto completion of the method name you're in, it'll try to it will it will suggest complete blocks of code. So that's how I've been using it.
Yeah.
But let's move on from that.
Now
Okay.
it's not
Go ahead.
it's not as smart as the PHP IntelliSense. I will get blocks of code that have extra close parentheses or squigglies on it. Like you have to
I
babysit.
had a whole list of pluses and minuses. I just closed all of those because
You're
we're
mad at
not
John?
interested in talking about that. Oh yeah.
Talk about
Extremely
it.
mad. Nope, not talking about it. We're moving on. Let's
I'll
talk about
I'm
vasectomies.
talking.
No, let's talk about
I'm going to talk in
vasectomies, 'cause
Discord.
That's how we spent half of our time in Discord this past week. If you're not a Patreon supporter, you're not in the private Patreon channel of the herd in our Discord. And things got weird in there this week. I'm going to be honest with you. Things got weird. We do have a new Patreon, bada bing, Joe F. You know who you are, Joe F. We all know
Fucker.
who Joe F is.
Joe
No.
fucker.
No, what is wrong with you, dude?
I don't know. I'm just
Focus.
Steve in Discord is just quote Steve now because we've said it so many times. I don't know what Joe F means now.
Everybody knows what Joe F means.
Oh!
Yeah. There we go.
Just got it.
Put
Just
it
got
in
it.
your VS
Yeah,
Code and do
just
Joe
got
F and just see what it recommends.
Is this what it takes?
see
Is
what
it- do we just
Copilot-
do we just compliment like open source contributors 1 week at a time and make money off of that?
I mean, if the model's working, I don't see why we don't stick with it.
Jeez.
Anyways, things got weird, very weird conversations in the Herd channel. We don't need
It
to
started
go into
last
it.
week.
It
It
did.
started because of our show last week.
Yeah, we don't need to go into it because the Herd is like a safe area for Patreon supporters. If you are curious, you can become a Patreon supporter and
Yeah.
you can scroll back and see. But things got really weird in the Herd channel. I popped in there and I'm like, what are we talking about here? What's happening right now?
I did offer to buy him a
I
marital
share-
aid.
I was just
That's my
sharing
bad.
my vasectomy story. That's it.
I think we helped a
was-
few people. this
It
week.
was testicle week at at PHPUgly.
Oh my gosh.
I feel somewhat responsible for that.
Yeah, that was totally on you, 100%. Let's
Yeah.
be perfectly clear about that. And we talked about it around the dinner table too much this week as well. I mean,
Well,
there was a lot of ball talk this week, and I'm ready to wrap it up. I think we can just tie it up in a nice little package. No, pardon the pun, and just put it to the side. We're done with that. We'll put it right next to Copilot. We don't need to talk about either one of those topics right now.
You're so mad right now.
Oh yeah.
Sounds-
You know what I'm mad.
Hey,
That's
You-
clear.
Can I make you happier?
We can try.
We sent out our first print order to
yes.
be shipped out. Finally, they finally accepted the PDF.
Print order of what, John? This is PHP
the
Ugly. Are
PHP
we printing
the-
something?
The PHP Architect magazine. It's sent to the printer. You should have it. Whenever they send it to you.
Someone taught Eric what passive aggressive was, and he just learned what aggressive is. Oh yeah, is that the way it is? Is that the way it is? You're just not gonna wear a mask because fuck everyone. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm the same way. I hate you.
You think he's getting drunker and drunker as the show goes on.
How's that? No, I'm
So-
just saying.
So,
Now
no,
your mic's too far
give
away.
give us more information, John. How long does it take? When should people expect it in their mailbox? When should people expect their October issue in their mailbox?
Mid-November.
Mid-November. All right, not bad. Not bad.
Do not like the direction this is going.
I mean, hey, it's this year, right? I mean, it's technically this year. We're good.
No, I think it's, from what I understand, from the time you send it to them, it takes 2 weeks, give or take. Unfortunately, it's out of our hands at that point. This one was weird, where they normally take, again, from what I've heard, because this is our first time, only a day or two to review everything and get you an answer. This took us 5 days to get a response back from them. And keep in mind, you can't call and talk to anybody at this company, and it drives me nuts, and it makes me want to switch vendors. And I've complained to numerous people, and they're all like, yeah, I get it, and who cares? So it's annoying I can't call and talk to somebody unless it's about billing. And even then, they're like, well, we can't talk to you because the account's in a different company's name. I'm like, I give up the company. It's just frustrating. So we're doing our best. It took longer to get a response from them. And once we got the response, they approved it. But I decided, I'm going to go fix that something typo. So that took an extra day for them to accept it. But
And if you're
It's out the door.
wondering, this is international. So no matter where you're in the world, if you subscribe to the print edition, it's in route. Can't guarantee it'll get there in a timely fashion for this month, but next month I feel like we're we're doing better. We're already in a better place, I feel like.
We're in a better place. We're not at the place we want to be. That's going to take.
No,
Sure,
we
this-
know that's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, but we are definitely working hard to streamline that.
Yeah.
That's the plan, anyway. Oh, Tom, you said something in there, and
I swear I didn't.
you did. And I was like, all right, you need to write a book or an article about that. And now I can't remember what it was.
What, being your editor?
No. There was something else. It might have been around Copilot or something else you said. Anyway, you need to write for us.
Can I do an Apple bashing column?
Sure.
Whoa. That turned quickly. What you were such the Apple fanboy for a while. What do you mean?
I am an Apple fanboy
Okay.
because I was telling my friend this today. Apple has hardware design down. Their hardware engineering is so good. Their operating system, their interoperability between their operating systems is amazing. They do fantastic stuff. And like the new trend is basically apologizing for what they've done wrong. And I'm really excited about that, where they're like, yeah, the touch bar, we got rid of the touch bar, and the too many port or too few
We're
ports.
sorry to hype that up so much and get everybody so excited about it, make everybody think they need a new Mac. Our bad.
The touch bar is great. They just didn't release a keyboard. If they'd released a keyboard with a touch bar on it, the touch bar would have been fantastic. But they didn't do that. But now they've released this sort of like rolled back MacBook Pro, which has a lot of extra ports and doesn't have the touch bar, has the improved keyboard, and it has a fucking notch in the top of the screen.
Oh, I heard about this. I heard about the notch.
Dude, this is... I heard about the notch and it didn't bother me. And then I saw the taskbar or the toolbar or whatever the top bar of the window is called. In the Microsoft environment, a window is fully self-contained. So if you have a file drop down or an edit drop down or a plugins drop down, it's attached to the window that's currently active. But in the Mac world, every window is separate. So if you have a window open where you're editing a photo, you have to go to the very top of the screen to select the copy paste functionality or the filter functionality. So in a Windows laptop, this would have been fine because you could move the window. But in an Apple environment, there's just a big black splotch where there should be a selectable option.
I saw that video and I was wondering, was it doctored or is that really what's happening?
100% real.
The menu options are going behind the notch, or
Behind
if you
the
have so
notch.
many icons in your taskbar or whatever that go across and you get to the notch, it's behind it.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
So that upper bar that holds all of your extenuating functionality like bookmarks, profiles, and window help, it ends up behind the notch. And there's no elegant solution other than going the Windows route, which is tagging it to the window, that the currently active window. Like
Well, you still have the issue. I mean, there's still, even on a Windows world, isn't there? I guess there's not.
But you can move the window.
No,
In the
I know.
Windows
I meant there. I thought there's still information up there that theoretically could get lost behind it. The real thing is realize you put a notch in your hardware and work around it. They do that on phones, right?
Well, they do that on phones because there's no top menu.
Yeah, there is.
There's a pull down.
No, there's a top. I mean, it's hard to see this, but yeah, there's a top menu.
But nothing ends up in the middle. Like it doesn't have to curve around the notch.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They figured out how to realize there's a notch there and make stuff go on either side of it.
It's just such a fucking weird decision. And like, I honestly think that this is really going to hurt Apple sales.
The whole nothing hurts Apple sales. I'm sorry to tell you. Like, Apple buyers aren't necessarily reasonable buyers. They just see new and shiny, and they go grab it. But there was a reason for the notch, right? Much like the phone, they're pushing the screen to the edge. There's no more of a bevel, right? I think, you know what, honestly, I think it's going to be fine. I do think Apple needs to come up with a solution for it, and I don't think it's going to be a hard solution. I mean, it's just a coding thing saying, hey, always act like there's something in this position right here on the bar.
I think it will be literally a hardware solution. I think they will. I think they will end production of this laptop very quickly. And
no, it's a software thing.
No, this is software. It's completely software.
It's completely software, but the notch was already an issue before this showed up.
But all they have to do
everyone saw the notch and said this is garbage.
All they have to do is tell that top bar, hey, pretend there's something here. Don't write to this space. There's something here.
Sure, but the notch still exists.
That's fine, though. No, the notch is not the problem. The notch is what makes the screen look good.
The notch was the problem from the beginning.
The notch is not the problem. The problem is they didn't, from a software perspective, didn't take the notch in consideration. The notch is going to disappear. Like, it'll still be there, but we will forget to see it after
just like we did on phones. We complained when they started coming out on phones. Now all phones have them.
It's not all phones have them. It's still
I know not all, but most do.
No,
most
not
of the
most.
flagship.
Nope.
The flagship phones do.
No, there's the punch hole camera. There's the pop-up camera. And
I agree with John. I think
the notch was shitty long before we realized the software couldn't even handle it.
I think you're making much bigger deal of this than
that doesn't sound like me at all.
I thought it was a funny story, but I don't see it being a real problem. I don't see it being a problem at all. I think it's a problem now, and it needs to be addressed. I think it'll get addressed fairly quickly.
I think it's a stupid problem for a company that was run by one of the greatest developers of our time.
I'm so sick of hearing about Steve Jobs.
So am I.
I'm so.
Steve Jobs was not a software developer.
No, he was a product developer. And as much as I universally dislike Steve Jobs, at least he had quality control on the forefront of his mind.
I get it, but I get so sick of everyone using him as like this God reference and like
he's not. No, I don't use him like that. He wasn't, but he had quality control as his primary objective. It had to be functional in the way he wanted it to be functional. And I guarantee you that whoever the current CEO of Apple is did not get a notch laptop and use it for 2 months and say, this is great. I love it. No. And yeah, Steve Jobs, not the greatest dude and easily not the greatest CEO, but at least he fucking cared. The guys who are behind Apple right now don't care. They don't. And they have the same mentality as you do, which is the notch won't hurt sales.
It won't.
It won't. It's not going to grow sales either. It's just going to be a black. It's going to
grow sales
be a mark.
From the perspective of all those Apple people who can afford a new laptop, whether they need it or not, are going to go get a new laptop because of what they did with the processor that they have total control over. Like, I watched some of the talk, and they're like, we've sped up the processor so much faster than the old processor. It's the same pitch from back in the early 90s, where every Pentium
processors
chip
get
that came out,
faster.
every Pentium chip that came out was so earth-shattering faster. It's like,
but you don't see playing that bullshit card is Bill Gates. Bill Gates had his stuff crash during presentations.
Bill Gates didn't care
and
about
said,
that
"Hey,
stuff.
we're trying to make things better, and we're working with everyone else." Tim Cook, what the fuck has Tim Cook done? He's done nothing. Nothing. The Ebb 1 was in production before Jobs died. Tim Cook is just riding a wave of good engineering and good product design and pure fucking luck. I'm disgusted by CEOs in general, but the whole Apple thing is like, at least Steve Jobs was a good CEO. Tim Cook is a nothing CEO. Tim Cook is when Steve Jobs was fired and Apple tanked, he brought it back up. Tim Cook does nothing. He does nothing.
Okay. You got that out of your system? You good?
Nothing. All right, I'm done.
All right, so like I was
hold on. Well, hold on. Yeah, I'm done.
I spent a lot of time in VS Code, and I've got to be honest with you. There's some pluses and minuses to it. It really hasn't changed a lot from when I played with it before. My position on it, I guess, hasn't really changed, with the exception of Copilot. I am enjoying using Copilot, so I'll probably spend another week in VS Code. But like, again, I keep parroting this, and I'll continue to parrot it. Side by side, PHP Storm wins out, right? Because PHP Storm out of the box is designed specifically for PHP. So a lot of the things that you have to install on VS Code and even my Vim to get it to be a powerful PHP editor is on you, right? You have to install it. You have to make sure it gets configured correctly. Out of the box, PHP Storm has that stuff.
Eric. Wait, Eric.
I think we both have the same concerns here.
Wait. PHP Storm has a Copilot plugin.
Okay. Well, I'm not really worried about that anymore, John. Thank you very much.
I thought you were going to say that.
You were just like,
Vim,
I like VS
Vim
Code because it has Copilot, but PHP Storm doesn't. I'm saying, hey, the plugin's there. Go try it.
I might take a look at it. I don't know, John. I'm a little bitter about Copilot right now, if you don't mind. But and what else I've always said is, if you're getting paid to code PHP, and make the investment in PHP Storm if you feel like you need an IDE. If you're not getting paid and you want a powerful tool to use, look at VS Code. For me personally, I'm really happy with my Vim configuration, my Neo Vim configuration. So I probably won't hang out in VS Code much longer, but I did spend a lot of time getting my mappings in line. So it felt really good. I mean, and I have this in PHP Storm as well. My Vim mappings in PHP Storm and VS Code and Neo Vim are very similar. VS Code had a plugin for something that I've been using in Vim lately, which is called WitchKey, which creates this this pop-up panel, this HUD, this heads-up display when you do your, in my case, my leader key, my space. So I hit my space bar and give it a second, the HUD pops up, and it's just like a little reminder of what some of the shortcuts are. So like things you don't use very frequently, you can kind of navigate to. It's really cool.
PHP Storm has that too.
I really need to see if PHP Storm has it, because I never installed it on PHP Storm, and when I was doing my VS Code, I saw it. I'm like, hey, this is cool. They have this. Let me install it. I'm like, hey, you know what? I do really like this. So I need to go
just
back
installed it for PHP Storm, so I'll try it out.
I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how easy that. It's not easy. It's a little clumsy to configure in VS Code. So I'm curious about PHP Storm.
You have to put it in your idea vimrc file.
That makes sense.
A set which key.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah. Again, you can't go wrong. The one message I want to kind of repeat to everybody, and I'll continue to repeat it: VS Code, PHP Storm, Vim. I honestly, truly believe if you learn Vim bindings, you will become a much quicker developer. Just learn your Vim bindings. That's my PSA for the week.
Counterpoint.
It probably won't be valid, but I'm going to allow it.
If you rely entirely on the autofill functionality of your IDE, you can go from junior developer to senior developer much faster.
I'm not sure how that was a counterpoint to anything I said, but it sounds like there's more to that story.
I don't.
What are you saying?
Nothing. My job is so hard.
That was random. That was so random. Oh gosh. All right.
Hey, can we do a
wrap it up? Yeah, sure. We're about an hour. What?
After we wrap it up, can we do a live stream, just experimental session with Copilot? See what it does with just random being told what it does.
Yeah, if people want to hang out in Discord and mess around with it, I can hang out.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like sharing your screen so I can start editing? That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, that would violate a lot of rules.
I'm not afraid. Right, I'm not afraid to live code. I know I'm
terrified.
I'm
I'm doing SOX 2 compliance right now, and that is like tight.
If you're in our Discord, if you're watching the live stream, if you're on the audio podcast, I'm sorry. I am very sorry. This has been a crappy show for you.
This is not
on YouTube. It's still going to be there.
I've been thoroughly entertained.
I will. We're going to do some Copilot stuff after. If you're not interested in Copilot, you don't have to hang around. You don't have to be a part of it. But we'll do some Copilot stuff, and then I'll show you some of the similarities I have between VS Code and my Vim setup as well, because I am very happy with that.
We have our first suggestion from Carlton. Charlton.
Sorry, he's been drinking.
Either way, this has been PHP Ugly, episode 260.
Are we done? All right.
Here's the next topic.
I really need to start taking medication before we start recording.
Eric used to hit me when we lived in the same zip code. Just took all his anger out on me all at once. It was terrible. It's the reason I moved.
Gosh. I think I get the reputation. I'm like a physical bully or something from people, man. I don't know where that comes from.
You're only 6'8".
In the mouth says it. Next person. What? No, I'm not. I'm six something. All right. Is that it?
Before
we
go,
He was just ending the show, and now he's going to continue.
This is your train wreck to steer, Tom. Just Take it down the track, baby.
Is there any news on PHP Tech or PHP World?
No,
We're doing it.
at some
Just a
point.
matter of when. When and where, baby.
where,
I have a suggestion.
and how.
We're open to suggestions and where.
Early
I
bird
want-
starts January, closes
I want to
December.
go. How far do you live from New Orleans, Tom? I want to go to New Orleans. I need somebody to find a
Plane.
spot for us. Oh, is it for Colorado? Yeah, I guess it would be.
Oh no,
wouldn't
that's
it?
a plane.
Yeah.
I would love New Orleans though. My best friend.
I
from
think New
San
Orleans
Diego
would be.
is-
I want to go to New Orleans
is
so
there.
bad, and I know we got some great developers down there, down and around there. So I think that would be a hot spot to have a conference. But I don't know.
I'd love to hear from the listeners what would be the best location for a conference.
especially overseas listeners, people in Europe and Africa. Where would you fly to in the continental U.S. for a PHP conference, like an awesome PHP?
We could do Hawaii. I've got contacts
Well,
there.
No, Hawaii.
Yeah.
I think Hawaii would be very hard to pull off. Now I'm thinking we need to push it back to the East Coast where it traditionally was from, or the Midwest. But
There's a halfway house right next door to my house that we
where
could
is
like.
this going? All right, Ralph, I'm thinking of you, buddy. I want to be out there.
Did you see Charlton's Copilot?
Oh no, we're gonna test this.
Enumerate a list of dates when COVID will be over and a list of users can occupy the same space. I like it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
Copilot, give me an answer.
It's just gonna be a really boring select statement.
All right,
Never again.
what do you think?
Ah,
Are we
shit.
wrapping up? Are we wrapping up, Tom? Do you got more? Tom, I need your help, by the way. We had a great article in PHP Architect in October
Dude,
about
about crypto?
no. I'm glad you read it though. The crypto one was really good.
I could not read the crypto one. I got halfway through
Careful.
it.
Careful, please.
Okay, careful, delicate. No, when you said introduction to crypto, I thought you were going to cover like the PHP, the salting and the sodium lib stuff. I was amazed at how deep the crypto article went because it went all the way deep.
Thanks. It was pretty deep. Yeah.
I was really.
So tune in next month, and maybe there will be.
Well, next month is going to be the part 2 because this was the part 1 of the cryptography article, right? No?
It's theory. I
We-
guess you
we-
need
we
a
edit
subscription
that
to
out?
find out.
We just edit that out.
Damn it.
No, I was
So-
I was
Just pressure.
very
So
surprised
this-
at how
this is
deep
on
the
me.
crypto stuff went.
This is on me. The author of Vinicius, the author of that article, said, "Hey, I have a follow-up around libsodium. Let me know if you want that." And I don't know how, but we all dropped the ball on. Of course, we want the follow-up. Why would we not want the follow-up? So I reached out to him, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't do it because you never said you wanted it."
Hey, no, it's I was pleasantly surprised by how deep into the sort of mathematical fundamentals that it got. It is a big article and definitely front page material.
When you spell it right, it is. But yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
But I sort of I didn't know where to stop with reading it. It kept getting deeper and deeper before it got back into PHP land. And I'm really glad that I had it and have it and read it. But it is a deep cut for sure. And it makes me very
Venetia
excited to see.
Capitelli.
It makes me
Can't
very
be
excited
fair.
to see how deep the content of PHP Architect can go, because I like that deep stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I always shy away from sort of like magazines, periodicals, because they just teach me like the OWSAP stuff. Like here's the 10, also an article in this month's magazine. But like,
It's the
where-
free article, by the way. If
Yeah, it is.
you're not a subscriber, you can go download that article for free. So go to phparch.com today.
Yeah. So yeah, very impressed. I was pleasantly surprised by how difficult it was to go all the way into cryptography with that.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Would it be okay if I finished my what I was asking? Would that be all right? Are you good with that?
I don't know which button plays the outro.
So Chris Tankersley had an article about Windows 11. Again, not a big Windows guy myself, but we are running a Windows VM for a lot of the tooling we're doing around PHP Architect for layouts in the magazine, things along that nature. So I'm like, man, I wonder if I can get Windows 11. I went to look at the updates. Sure enough, it said, hey, your system is not compatible with Windows 11. It's complaining about like that whole, and I remember this being a thing before. It's complaining about the secure boot. Like it's a virtual machine, so that's the first thing, and it doesn't have like a secure boot in something about a TPM. So if I'm letting you know, and I'm letting the listeners know, if there's a way around that with virtual machines and Windows 11, let me know.
You might have to enable it in your BIOS. Anyway, no.
TPM for Windows 11 is very easy to circumvent. However, next week, Windows 10 will be rolling out a mandatory update that includes a Windows 11 update checker.
Well, that's what I got. I got the Windows 11 checker is what I got.
So you'll be getting that. It's easy to circumvent. We just can't say what that is on the podcast. But if you do a Google search for TPM Windows 11,
that's the thing. It's not that important. It's not that important to me. I'm not looking to like do anything that's outside the bounds of legal for it. I need it for my business. So if I can live on Windows 10, I'll just stay on Windows 10. That's absolutely fine. I was wondering if there's like a legal, straightforward way of doing it, and if there is, I would explore Windows 11 because, like I said, Chris Tankersley's article in last month's PHP Architect, I'm like, that's really interesting. I should probably look into this a little more. Okay.
You know what we didn't? You know what we didn't talk about? Our new toys. All right, we'll save that for next week.
Okay, sounds good to me.
You've been listening to episode 260 of PHPUgly. I'm John.
I'm Eric.
I'm drunk.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Now the outro.
Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet. Unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly because it's
Eric,
not professional. But I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting. I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications? Okay, I can dig
We
it.
talked
My
about
work's
it for
break
like a half an hour
They
last
getting
week.
together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got
Last
plenty
week
of
I wore
haters,
that.
but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
Keep it ugly.
All right, man. You want me to share the screen again?
Yes.
Yeah, kill that feedback. I had something. Oh, if there's any listeners in Discord that want to do me a solid and rewind oh, you can't rewind it because we're live streaming. Never mind.
Twitch is actually going to be releasing a rewind functionality next month.
That's something I didn't talk about, but like YouTube I'm noticing on YouTube channels, like there's getting to be all these new buttons. Like there's a clip button, there's a download button now. All this craziness.
You can rewind on YouTube. You want to know where the
You
ad
can
was at?
rewind on YouTube, but not on Twitch.
Oh, that's good.
Eric, is that what
Open up.
you're asking?
Whoa, was I asking a question? What?
Well, yeah,
Oh yeah,
where
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 the honey badger is? Yeah.
it's around 56 minutes. No, 56 minutes ago. It's
Yeah, I was going to say that
doesn't work ago.
it's like 24 minutes.
I don't. Wait. What?
It was around 9:15.
15.
Well, so about 15 to 20 minutes into the show.
That'll work. Let's see. I don't know if I need a term open or not, but we'll open one. What am I doing? We're doing the code stuff again.
Yeah, I want to play with this.
Haven't you been playing with it all week?
No, I've been working. The thing,
Check-
like I said, the one thing that really killed me was the test where I checked for a positive, and then the test where I checked for a negative, and it filled out the whole test.
So can I just bitch to you for 1 second though? This is an example of what I'm talking about. This is my Vim on the left. If I hit my leader key, watch how fast my HUD pops up. Boom, it's right there. Like the moment I hit it, it popped up. If I come over here and I do the same thing, I'll hit it. Boom, 1, 2. Like everything's like that. Like
What does that key do?
It's not
Is that
just
the which-
VS Code.
Is that
That's
which
the
key?
which. Yeah.
So there's a setting for that, at least on the idea Vim, the PHP Storm one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 1 second by default,
Yeah, I think that's an artificial
could-
delay.
and you can turn it off.
Oh, maybe I need to look at that.
Because
It's not-
VS
it's not
Code,
o- it's
VS
not
Code is
only
faster
that.
than anything else I've used.
It's not faster than Vim. That's kind of my point. Like Vim, like I like VS Code, but I like VS Code. The Vim plugin is really good. PHP Storm Vim plugin is great. They're both really good. Like they both have come a really long ways, but it still feels sluggish. Like things are so much quicker in Vim. It's insane. Let's see if I
Okay,
can break my
so-
Vim real fast. Packer sync. Yep.
I want you to make a whole
Good,
class.
I'm listening. I'm gonna make okay. I can do that. Look, see this is my issue right here. My Copilot will not work. It's just not happy. Okay. You want me to make you want me to do a make controller or you want me to make a new controller?
Make
or-
a new make a new controller. And
Okay.
the comment on the controller is implement CRUD functionality for users.
So you don't care what the controller is called.
No, I do.
Okay, what do you want the controller to be called?
Because users controller.
I think there is already a user controller, isn't there?
Oh, by
guess
default,
not.
maybe.
There isn't. All right,
Well,
so use
Copilot cares about the names of everything, and like that's what I mean when I say talk to it. Is that the names of the controller matter, the names of the methods matter, the names.
See, I
of
don't think it
everything
matters. Look at this. I haven't even typed
know it
anything.
does.
Haven't
I
even
know it
typed
does.
anything. Haven't even typed anything. Look at all this. It's recommending. Boom. Just
So
like
what's funny
that.
is
Haven't
you
typed
don't have a next previous button.
the next previous button.
When
do you mean?
when I'm being super vague with Copilot, I can tell it to like give me its next suggestion.
Oh, interesting. Let's see, what if I do? Let's see,
No, so you don't comment inside the controller. Comment outside the controller. Create
what you want to comment up here?
yeah. So CRUD
Okay.
commands for user.
Okay, that's good. CRUD commands for user. Boom. I didn't even have to type user. It just did that.
Right. It's because
Boom.
it's reading the name of the controller.
Use app user. Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
new.
so you're in the wrong namespace now. So go into the control,
yeah.
go into the class,
Right.
and just type public.
It didn't do a whole lot for me.
All right, so it says index. So
We already have an index actually. Okay, let me
delete-
just delete everything.
because it's reading the whole file. So
yeah, I get you.
so do public,
So you want to do public? Okay.
and then hit tab when it gives you a suggestion,
Uh-huh.
and then erase the comment line, and then hit $. And hit escape because it's in a context menu.
Sorry, cat wanted out. Hit escape. Okay.
All right, try this.
Good.
Return view.
You want this to be
just right where you are.
okay.
Return view. There you go.
Okay.
But make sure that you're passing with users.
Well, we don't have any users. Right
You don't have them
we don't
yet.
have any
It's an undefined variable, but it will define it. Right. So your goal is to return the view with the users in it, right? So return. No. Just not as a comment.
Okay. Okay,
Just
return
view users.index, but then act as if the user's variable is defined. There you go.
Okay.
So then go up a line and use its suggestion. Should what happened?
It closed out the.
So then from here, if you say $users equals,
There you go.
so that's where it's reading all of your code. It's trying to figure out. So you can program upside down by return the expected return value.
Okay, I see.
So it's also aware. So if you delete that, okay, go back to index and make sure that it returns a view, a strict colon string.
Oh, there you go. How about that?
See? So what it just did the same thing, but it learned from what you were typing before.
Mm-hmm.
So you typed the same exact thing, but it knew what you were trying to do because you'd already done it and undone it.
I think that. What if I buy that? But I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So like that's what I mean by talking to it is you can, when you delete code that it suggests, then it remembers that it suggested that code and you didn't accept it. So it gives you something else. And it remembers what you tried to replace it with. So it gives you something else. So it's like it keeps trying to make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it uses what you've done before to try and make you happy.
How did I do that? No call lesson.
What?
Set
Double question mark?
Set display name to first name, last name. If display name is empty, that didn't do that. I did the no call lesson earlier today. I'm trying to remember what I told, because I did it in a comment. First name,
dude, it's machine learning. You'll never get the same thing twice. You won't.
Set to email.
Boy, it would learn horribly from me.
There it is. Well, that's not no call lesson, but
no, that's a broken ternary. And that's the thing, is like it totally gives me broken code. But like,
yeah, I had that issue.
This isn't the impressive version. The impressive version is where it fills out paragraphs of code for you.
That was the big thing. You worked in this legacy code base. I was using it in, and it was just cranking out the code.
Well, so
and
yeah,
it was probably hitting like 80% correct.
I had this issue where I was processing a request, but the method allowed for a request or a pending request object. And I wrote the comment, I wrote the if statement. If variable instance of pending request, and it said it auto-filled pending request await. Like it knows the code better than I do. It's better at auto-filling than I am. And that's where it's really the strongest, is that I don't have to look up things that I would go to the API docs and look up, because it knows that stuff already. That's where it's like really strong.
Yep. Hey, do we have anybody in Discord want us to try something before we hang this up? Generate.
All right, so portfolio. I want to try. I'm gonna try
Charlton. Yeah.
So
Charlton.
So parse. The class is parse URL.
What are you looking at? Parse URL.
No, it's the class name.
Oh, you want a class?
Yeah, so class is URL parser or parse URL. And then the method.
I think you need to increase the size of your font there on the stream.
I keep having to depuke it.
Can't increase it too much more. Parse controller.
Parse URL.
Well, that works. Name? What's it matter? Yeah.
Well, I think it does matter. I think the class name does matter.
Okay.
So public function.
You want me to type public function? Okay.
Yeah, public function get URL.
Get you.
So hey, I have breaking news. Earlier, Charlton asked a question of when COVID is going to be over. My mother-in-law is watching the stream and said, my son's Magic 8-Ball has the answer. So I'm going to go grab that and figure out when we can have tech.
Why don't you do that?
Come on. Nobody else is laughing? I thought that was hilarious.
We will watch you on one of 20 cameras.
All right, what do you want here?
It is so pixelated on YouTube. It's not crazy.
So throw a variable in there. No, get URL's the wrong. God damn it.
That's what you said. Get URL.
I know it's the wrong word. Should be set URL.
Okay. Watch this. Boom. Just like that.
All right. So then the autofill here should set it as a property of the class.
So there's nothing here. You want to do that again? I can do the whole thing again. There. Public function set URL. See, I'm surprised it's not doing anything here.
Oh, there we go.
Uh,
That's totally wrong.
Oh no, I mean it's not totally wrong. It's assuming for some reason it's making the assumption a request is coming in.
Oh no, because it thinks you're working on users because you have the user model included.
Oh yeah, that was what we were working on initially.
If you remove the user model from the use statement, it won't do that. So this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying is that it's reading your intentions.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Okay, try it again. All right, public. Right, function. Set URL. There you go.
See, it's definitely reading existing code in the class and trying to assume your intention. Because you were using the user class, it thought you were trying to set a URL on a user object. That's where I've gotten hung up, is I've had to clean up my use statements so that it's making the right assumptions.
Yeah.
So from here, because it knows now, it knows.
Hold on. Public import CSV file. See, interesting. That is interesting. Import function.
So try to give it a Java style name.
What would a Java style name be?
Public function import CSV from stream resource.
Wait, where do you want? Say that again. Where do you want that?
So delete that method. Public function.
Okay. Function.
Import CSV from stream resource.
From stream resource. Okay. There you go.
See, that's what I'm saying, is that this is used to Go and JavaScript or Java. So the longer the method name, the better it actually performs.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It got the F open. It got the the default data array. It got importing each row by line. It got the comma. See,
can I compliment you for a second, Tom?
No.
For a second, please.
Yes.
So I see what you're saying. They're not using the short syntax here either.
Right.
You were talking about how it seemed like it codes in PHP 5. I
right.
See what you're saying there.
Right, because it's
go on.
Because I think this is trained on Java.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trying to make PHP look like Java.
I'm gonna try.
But the more descriptive your method name, the better it will fake out the function.
What did you see? Get. You get days of. There you go. Boom. Data. I don't think that was what you were looking for, Kevin, but interesting.
You can give it graphing commands. So try this.
Good.
Get public function, get days of week.
Wait, you want to just use this one?
No, just delete it.
Okay.
And remember that it has a data source already. So scroll up.
What do you mean?
So it thinks that that data is valid data.
Okay, that's fine.
So public function get days since last outbreak
Last. Okay, outbreak.
from
Give it
data.
Data. Right. Boom. Deep. There you go. Again, we're if you're watching this, we're just fucking around with an empty code base. To Tom's point, and I think to a lot of what we're trying to explain, I don't know if it's reading your actual code base or not, but it's like when you're working inside a code base, that's where this
Okay.
auto completion really comes into play.
So delete
but you do have to know code.
Delete that function.
Okay. It's the last
And
thing, man.
where it says return data, just say this data equals data.
Okay. Damn it. This data equals data. Okay.
So now type the same function again.
I don't remember that fucking name, dude. Public function. Oh,
Get days since last outbreak from data.
okay. Get days since last. I keep hitting space. Break from data. Didn't really change anything.
This data.
Okay. Let me delete this.
See where it says for each this data instead of data?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, right here.
It's aware of the structure of the object that it's part of.
That's interesting because this time it didn't accept it didn't ask for
Right. It
anything
doesn't
like that.
expect an argument because you've established that this data is part of the class that you're editing.
Mm.
So it changed it to check this data instead of data.
Hmm.
So when you're creating a factory object, it will start to fill the factory out for you instead of trying to go outside of the factory and request object definitions. Like, it's aware of data patterns in code.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this user established, now here's the thing, here's where PHP 8 comes in, is that if you establish protected user at the top of your constructor, it can't quite understand that. So if you say _construct, if you say yeah.
Oh, just do _construct. Actually, it popped up there.
They're the same thing. Construct. So if you do that, and then you say
that's not valid.
It is, because you're in Laravel.
What? No, it's not. Public.
is.
You need public function.
Oh no, yeah, no, it doesn't understand validity.
Thank you.
Yes. No, what I meant was the middleware
Yeah.
part. So if you use property promotion right there, so delete that line.
Mhm.
So in line two, in line 2 above where you're at, I don't know, I hate your numbering scheme.
Just say 2 up. Is all you got to say. It's very simple.
So if you say protected user $user,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, say it's a user. Protected
user model.
No, before the $sign.
I was going for the first time. Are you looking for something here, Tom?
Right. So that's it. That's property promotion in PHP 8.
But it was auto-completing it the first time, I believe. Yeah, it did auto-complete it.
No. Delete the line user equals user. You already did that.
Oh, all right.
Right. So
Sure.
by defining the scope of the user model, you've promoted the property to.
Right, but that wasn't a Copilot thing.
No, this is
That's
a
just
PHP. It's a
PHP 8.
PHP 8 thing. And this thing is that Copilot learns from code that it sees, and the code that's out there in the wild doesn't use property promotion. So Copilot doesn't quite understand what's happening there.
All right. I think that's enough playing with it. It's definitely more fun in a code base than trying to come up with this stuff.
But see, you get what I'm saying is that you have to talk to it.
I talk to my code all the time. It drives my wife crazy, I'm sure. 'Cause
Like,
she's never sure if
you're-
I'm talking to her.
So if you look at my
Rubber
code,
Ducky. That's another article in last month's PHP Architect.
if you look at my code where I'm using Copilot like on purpose, every other line is commented. Like I
That's
can
annoying.
tell, you can tell when I'm using Copilot because I'm commenting all over the place because I'm telling it what code to write.
That sounds horrible.
It's so cool. It is so cool.
I've been pretty cool about it. I think it's been pretty cool. It's been fun. Like
Well-
I said, it's funny because you get frustrated when it code's wrong because it's like, God damn it, you're so close. Make me have to do my job.
Well, so that's the thing is that like the code is always
Now I
just
gotta go grab
well,
this from PHP Store.
like, you know, when you're doing code snippets, it asks you like to fill in variable names. It's just like code snippets.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but so much.
Let me see if I can share this. Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
I can't. Fuck.
That's fine. I think we've been on
I
long
just
enough anyways.
I had it write 30 lines of code today
Uh-huh.
and modify just the parts that needed to be
Code.
modified, and I was so fucking impressed.
Good.
Like it
Now, was Copilot one word or I'm not
Yes.
seeing it.
Yeah, one word.
There it is. That is an official GitHub extension. I am snagging it.
I'm telling you,
It's interesting because you have to authenticate to your GitHub. Before it
Yeah,
lets
yeah, you
use
do.
it.
you have to sign up. You have to sign like 3 NDAs.
And I'm sure one of them was you won't stream this
Don't-
live
Don't get drunk on a podcast.
and stream this. I would not be at all surprised if that was one of them.
You know what it feels like, and I was trying to explain this to my friend the other day. It feels like a different version of Stack Overflow, where it's like instead of having to go to Stack Overflow and ask the question, it's always asking the question, and the answer is never exactly what you need, but it's halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like.
Great. Well, I've got it installed in PHP Storm, so now I might have to go back to PHP Storm now. I have to play with this tomorrow. John, you said which key was in here as well?
Yep.
I don't even feel like configuring that again, but I can.
I was trying to figure out if this was going to replace Stack Overflow, and I don't think it will, but I definitely think it deprecates Stack Overflow.
Oh, so? Well, I don't think so. I don't know. Talking about two different things.
It's two different things, but it's not. It's
Which key?
that feeling of having
Ooh, look at that. Which key?
that feeling of having someone do the legwork for you is definitely there. Like when I had a pending request and I needed to process it after it executed, and I just hit tab and it was like, here's how you process a pending request after it executes. I was like, oh, that saves me literally an hour of figuring out how pending requests work. Like, yeah, it's not Stack Overflow and it's not replacing Stack Overflow, but I definitely didn't have to go to Stack Overflow to get the answer.
I could have sworn I signed up for the Github Copilot when we first talked about it, but it just let me sign up for it during the show.
No, they heard about your marijuana usage and they were just out.
And they heard about how you guys were going to make it look horrible on stream, and
dude, it looks amazing. I don't know what you
mean. Not on the
horrible.
stream, it didn't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
does.
it just didn't.
No thanks to you, John. Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't even.
You can't tell me that.
I don't even remember what Eric was mad at me about.
He was mad at me, not at you.
I wasn't mad at you, Tom.
He was mad at me for no reason.
Well, I wouldn't call it no reason, but we'll wait till we stop streaming before I really lay into you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to kill the stream now. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on Patreon. And
we can't do that on Patreon.
That's not a Patreon thing.
We will see you next week. Woo!